Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful weapons ever given to humanity, not forged in fire, not crafted by steel, but sharper than any double-edged sword. That weapon is the Word, your sword of truth. The Word is a powerful weapon, sharper than any double-edged sword, capable of cutting through deception, fear, and doubt. Throughout history, words have held immense power, shaping civilizations, inspiring revolutions, and transforming lives. But beyond the mere words of men, there exists a greater truth, an unshakable, eternal word that has the ability to pierce through falsehoods and bring clarity to the most chaotic situations. This word is not just a set of phrases or teachings, it is a living force that speaks to the soul, illuminating the path of righteousness and exposing the lies that seek to entangle us. A sword, when wielded correctly, is both an offensive and defensive weapon. It is not only used to protect, but also to strike down what threatens. The word functions in much the same way. When doubts arise, when deception creeps in, and when uncertainty clouds the mind, the word serves as a weapon that defends against these attacks. At the same time, it actively dismantles lies and reveals the truth, bringing light to the darkest corners of the heart and mind. In a world where misinformation spreads rapidly, where opinions are often mistaken for facts, and where truth is frequently twisted to fit agendas, there is a desperate need for something unwavering. The Word provides that certainty, standing firm amid the shifting sands of human perception. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of progress. It paralyzes, it limits, and it distorts reality. Many people live bound by fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Yet the Word has the power to cut through fear, to dispel it completely. When one holds on to the truth, fear loses its grip. It no longer has the power to control or dictate decisions. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but truth eradicates uncertainty, bringing confidence and strength. Just as a soldier on the battlefield is emboldened when he trusts in his weapon, so too is a person strengthened when they trust in the power of the Word. Doubt is another force that seeks to weaken and destabilize. It whispers lies, casting shadows over what is real and causing people to question what they know to be true. But doubt cannot stand against a sharp and well-wielded sword. The Word dismantles doubt by providing clarity and assurance. When uncertainty arises, when the mind is clouded by conflicting messages, the Word cuts through the noise and restores a sense of direction. It reinforces faith, grounding the soul in unchanging truth. Without this weapon, people are left vulnerable, swayed by every passing thought or external influence. But with it, they stand firm, unmoved by the winds of confusion. The impact of words is undeniable. They have the power to build up or tear down, to inspire or discourage, to bring healing or destruction. But the Word, in its purest and most powerful form, brings transformation. It changes perspectives, renews minds, and strengthens hearts. It is not merely a collection of ideas, it is a force that breathes life into those who embrace it. Just as a sword in the hands of a skilled warrior determines the outcome of a battle, so too does the Word in the hands of those who wield it with wisdom. In every struggle, whether internal or external, the Word stands as an unshakable weapon. It is sharper than any deception, stronger than any fear, and more reliable than any fleeting thought. To ignore its power is to enter battle unarmed, but to embrace it is to walk in victory. Those who recognize its strength, those who wield it with understanding, will find themselves equipped for whatever challenges come their way. The Word is not just a tool, it is a force, a weapon, a sword that cuts through everything that seeks to hinder, leading the way to truth, freedom, and victory. Truth is not always comfortable. It does not merely soothe or pacify. It confronts, challenges, and demands a response. The Word, as the sword of truth, has the power to pierce through deception and expose what lies beneath. In a world where falsehoods often masquerade as reality, where opinions frequently overshadow facts, and where many prefer convenient lies over difficult truths, the power of the Word is undeniable. It cuts through the illusions people build around themselves and forces them to see things as they truly are. Many people resist truth because it challenges their way of thinking. It disrupts their comfort, shakes their assumptions, and sometimes demands change. But that is exactly what makes the Word so powerful. It does not conform to human preferences or adjust to societal trends. It remains steadfast, unyielding, and absolute. It is not something that can be altered to fit personal desires. Rather, it calls individuals to align themselves with it. This is why the Word is not just a source of comfort, but also a force of transformation. It demands honesty, integrity, and accountability. When truth confronts deception, there is always resistance. Lies seek to defend themselves, to justify their existence, and to convince people that they are just as valid as the truth. But the Word does not allow for such compromise. It draws a clear line between what is right and what is wrong. It does not leave room for ambiguity or half-truths. It challenges people to see beyond the facades they have accepted and to embrace what is real, even when it is difficult. This is why truth is often met with opposition. People may reject it, argue against it, or even attack those who speak it. But no amount of resistance can change the fact that truth remains unchanged, regardless of how many attempt to suppress it. The power of truth is not just in what it exposes, but in what it reveals. It brings clarity where there was confusion, direction where there was uncertainty, and freedom where there was bondage. Many people live in chains without realizing it, bound by lies they have believed, by fears they have embraced, and by the false narratives they have accepted as reality. But the Word, when spoken and received, has the power to break those chains. It opens eyes, it awakens hearts, and it empowers people to walk in confidence rather than in doubt. However, truth is not just about revealing deception in the world, it also confronts what is within. It exposes the falsehoods people tell themselves, the justifications they make, and the compromises they accept. The Word is like a mirror, reflecting not only external realities, but also internal conditions. It challenges individuals to examine their own hearts, to acknowledge their shortcomings, and to strive for growth. This can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is necessary for true transformation. Growth does not come from ignoring reality, but from facing it with courage and a willingness to change. There is a reason why many seek to avoid truth or water it down to make it more palatable. Truth can be hard to hear, and it often requires action. It demands responsibility and a response. But those who embrace it, who allow it to shape them rather than resist it, find themselves stronger, wiser, and more grounded. They are not easily swayed by manipulation, not deceived by empty promises, and not shaken by every passing trend. They stand firm because they have built their foundation on what is real rather than what is convenient. In a world that often prefers illusion over reality, the Word remains an unshakable force of truth. It does not cater to emotions or personal preferences. It simply is. It does not need validation or approval. It stands on its own. And those who choose to wield it, to speak it, and to live by it will find themselves walking in clarity, strength, and unshakable conviction. The Word does not just comfort, it confronts. It does not just reassure, it challenges. And in doing so, it leads to true freedom, true purpose, and true victory. A sword, no matter how sharp, is only as effective as the one who wields it. Likewise, the Word, as a sword of truth, must be handled with wisdom and understanding. It is not enough to simply possess knowledge, one must know how to apply it effectively. Without proper skill, even the most powerful weapon can become useless or worse, dangerous in the wrong hands. This is why it is essential to approach the Word with wisdom, discernment, and the intent to use it responsibly. Many people treat the Word as something to be quoted rather than lived. They may know certain truths, but they do not apply them correctly. Some use it carelessly, wielding it without understanding the depth of its meaning. Others twist it for their own purposes, using it as a tool to justify their actions rather than to seek real truth. Just as a sword requires training, discipline, and skill, so does the Word. One must study it, meditate on it, and learn how to use it with precision. Without this training, it can be misinterpreted, misused, and even turned into a tool for harm rather than enlightenment. A skilled warrior does not swing his sword wildly in battle. He moves with precision, striking with intent and purpose. In the same way, those who truly understand the Word do not use it recklessly. They know when to speak, when to remain silent, when to correct, and when to encourage. They do not use it as a weapon to tear others down, but as a means to bring light, clarity, and direction. They understand that truth, when delivered without wisdom, can wound rather than heal. It can push people away rather than draw them closer. The right words, spoken at the right time, can break through barriers, change hearts, and transform lives. But the wrong words, even if true, can create division and harm if not delivered with wisdom. Another aspect of wielding the word wisely is knowing when to apply it to oneself. It is easy to point the sword outward, using truth to correct others, but true wisdom comes from first applying it within. A skilled warrior sharpens his own sword before stepping onto the battlefield. Likewise, those who desire to walk in truth must first allow the word to shape and refine them. It is a mirror that reveals personal weaknesses, a guide that directs steps, and a tool that strengthens character. Before using it to instruct others, one must first be willing to be instructed. There is also the danger of using the word selectively, choosing only what is convenient while ignoring the parts that require real change. A warrior does not pick and choose which parts of his weapon to use. He understands that every part of the sword serves a purpose. The same is true of the word. It must be embraced fully, not just in the areas that are comfortable or beneficial. True wisdom comes from accepting all aspects of the truth, even those that challenge and require growth. The ability to wield the word effectively is not something that happens overnight. It requires practice, commitment, and a deep desire to grow. Just as a warrior trains daily, sharpening his skills and preparing for battle, those who seek to use the word with wisdom must engage with it consistently. They must study it, reflect on it, and seek to understand it beyond just the surface level. Over time, they develop the discernment needed to know how and when to use it most effectively. Wisdom is what determines whether the word is a source of strength or a source of division. In the hands of the wise, it brings clarity, direction, and transformation. In the hands of the reckless, it can be used to manipulate, hurt, or mislead. This is why it is not enough to simply know the truth. One must also know how to use it. A sword in the hands of an untrained warrior can do more harm than good, but in the hands of one who has mastered it, it becomes a force for good, cutting through deception and leading to real freedom. A sword is only effective when it is sharp. A dull blade is of little use in battle, unable to cut through armor or strike with precision. In the same way, the word must be kept sharp in the heart and mind of those who wield it. This sharpening does not happen by accident. It requires intentional effort, discipline, and dedication. Just as a warrior takes time to maintain his weapon, those who seek to wield the word effectively must invest in its study, meditation. A sharp sword is one that has been refined through use, tested in battle, and kept in a state of readiness. Sharpening the word in one's life begins with consistent study. It is not enough to hear truth once and assume mastery over it. Truth must be revisited, reflected upon, and internalized. Just as a warrior does not train only once, but engages in continuous preparation, so too must one who desires to wield the word effectively engage with it regularly. Through daily study, deeper understanding is gained, and familiarity with truth becomes second nature. This process strengthens conviction, making it easier to stand firm when faced with challenges or opposition. Meditation on the word is another crucial aspect of sharpening it. Merely reading truth is not enough. It must be thought about, absorbed, and allowed to shape one's thinking. A warrior does not only practice with his sword. He visualizes battle, anticipates challenges, and mentally prepares for the fight. In the same way, those who seek to wield the word effectively must meditate on its meaning, allowing it to penetrate their hearts and guide their decisions. Meditation brings clarity, deepening one's relationship with truth and reinforcing its power in daily life. Another key to sharpening the word is application. Knowledge that is not used becomes stagnant, like a blade that rusts from neglect. A warrior does not sharpen his sword just to admire it. He does so to be ready for battle. Likewise, the word must be applied in real-life situations. This means living according to truth, making decisions based on wisdom, and allowing the word to guide actions. When truth is put into practice, it becomes sharper, more effective, and more deeply rooted in the heart. Sharpening also happens through trials and challenges. Just as a blade is honed through friction, the word in a person's life is refined through experience. Facing difficulties, standing firm in the midst of adversity, and holding on to truth when it is tested all contribute to its sharpening. A warrior does not know the true strength of his sword until it has been used in battle. In the same way, the power of the word is truly realized when it is applied in the face of struggle. It is in these moments that faith is strengthened, wisdom is deepened, and the word proves itself as a reliable and unshakable foundation. Surrounding oneself with others who are also sharpening their swords is essential. A lone warrior is at a disadvantage, but one who trains with others grows stronger. Engaging with those who share a commitment to truth provides encouragement, accountability, and insight. Discussions, teachings, and shared experiences all contribute to a deeper understanding and sharper application of the word. Just as iron sharpens iron, those who seek to sharpen their understanding must surround themselves with others who do the same. Sharpening the word requires humility. A warrior who believes he has nothing left to learn becomes complacent and unprepared. Likewise, those who assume they fully understand the word may stop seeking deeper wisdom, leaving themselves vulnerable. A commitment to lifelong learning, openness to correction, and a willingness to grow all ensure that the word remains sharp and ready for use. Truth is not a weapon to be wielded carelessly, but a tool that must be maintained with care, ensuring that it remains a powerful force in every battle faced. A sword is not meant to be hidden or kept in its sheath indefinitely. It is meant to be drawn, used, and wielded with purpose. Likewise, the word is not meant to remain idle in the mind of the one who carries it. It must be spoken, shared, and applied in everyday life. Truth has power, but only when it is actively used. A sword that remains hidden cannot defend, correct, or guide. In the same way, the word must be declared boldly and confidently so that it can fulfill its purpose. Many people hesitate to speak truth because they fear rejection, conflict, or misunderstanding. They worry that standing for what is right will set them apart or make them unpopular. However, a warrior does not enter battle concerned about whether his sword offends his opponent. His focus is on using it to protect, defend, and achieve victory. In the same way, those who carry the word must understand that truth is not about pleasing people. It is about illuminating reality, dispelling deception, and bringing clarity where there is confusion. Speaking the word does not mean being harsh or aggressive. A skilled warrior knows how to wield his sword with precision, striking only when necessary and using the right amount of force for the situation. Likewise, truth must be spoken with wisdom, love, and discernment. It is not about proving a point or winning an argument, but about guiding, enlightening, and transforming. Words have the power to build up or tear down, to heal or to wound. Speaking truth should always come from a place of sincerity, with the intention of helping others see clearly rather than simply overpowering them in debate. There will always be resistance to truth. Some will reject it, others will ignore it, and some may even attack those who speak it. But this should not discourage those who wield the word. A warrior does not retreat just because his opponent is stronger. He stands firm, knowing that his weapon gives him the advantage. Similarly, those who speak truth must remain steadfast, understanding that rejection does not diminish its power. The impact of the word is not always immediate. Sometimes it takes root later, growing in the hearts and minds of those who once resisted it. Using the word effectively also requires knowing when to speak and when to listen. A warrior does not strike at random, he waits for the right moment. Timing is crucial. Sometimes the best way to wield truth is through patience, allowing others the space to process it rather than forcing it upon them. Some battles are won not through direct confrontation, but through quiet persistence, through living out the truth rather than merely speaking it. Actions can often communicate truth more powerfully than words alone. Furthermore, the word should be spoken with conviction. A hesitant warrior is at a disadvantage, just as a person who doubts the truth they carry will struggle to share it effectively. Confidence in the word comes from experience, from personal conviction, and from a deep understanding of its power. The more one engages with truth, the more naturally and effectively it can be shared. Those who stand firm in their beliefs, unshaken by doubt or fear, become powerful voices of wisdom and guidance for others. Lastly, the word must be shared with the right motives. It is not a tool for self-promotion or superiority, but a gift meant to enlighten, uplift, and strengthen. A warrior does not wield his sword to boast about its sharpness, but to protect and fight for what is right. In the same way, truth should not be spoken for personal gain or recognition, but with a sincere desire to bring clarity and wisdom to those who hear it. When the word is spoken with the right heart, it becomes a force that not only reveals truth, but also transforms lives. A sword in the hands of a warrior is not just a weapon, it is a responsibility. It must be wielded with integrity, purpose, and discipline. In the same way, the word carries great power, and those who carry it must do so with honor. Truth is not something to be manipulated for personal gain or used carelessly. It is a sacred trust meant to guide, correct, and illuminate. When wielded with integrity, it brings clarity and direction. When misused, It can cause harm, confusion, and division. Integrity in handling the word begins with sincerity. A true warrior does not pretend to be strong while neglecting his training. Likewise, those who carry the word must not merely speak it, but live by it. It is easy to tell others what is right while failing to follow the same principles. However, the greatest impact comes from a life that reflects the truth being spoken. People are more likely to be influenced by actions than by words alone. A person who walks in truth, demonstrating honesty, kindness, and wisdom, becomes a living example of the word's power. Another aspect of integrity is humility. A warrior does not rely on his own strength alone. He acknowledges the need for training, guidance, and growth. Those who handle the word with integrity do not claim to know everything or have all the answers. Instead, they remain open to learning, correction, and deeper understanding. Truth is not about proving superiority over others. It is about seeking wisdom and sharing it with the right spirit. When truth is used to uplift rather than to dominate, it creates unity rather than division. Integrity also requires consistency. A warrior does not switch sides in battle for personal benefit. In the same way, those who stand for truth must do so unwaveringly, even when it is inconvenient or unpopular. It is easy to uphold truth when it aligns with personal interests, but real integrity is revealed when one chooses to stand by it despite opposition or difficulty. This consistency builds trust, showing others that truth is not something to be bent or compromised for selfish reasons. Furthermore, wielding the word with integrity means using it for the right purposes. A sword is meant for protection, not for reckless destruction. Similarly, the word should never be used to manipulate, judge unfairly, or tear others down. It should be a tool of guidance, encouragement, and correction, used with the intention of helping others grow. The right words, spoken with the right heart, have the power to heal, restore, and strengthen. The true power of the word is fully realized when it is handled with integrity. It is not just about speaking truth, but embodying it in every aspect of life. A warrior who respects his sword is one who will use it wisely, and a person who honors truth will carry it with the responsibility it deserves. When the word is wielded with integrity, it becomes a force for good, bringing light into darkness and transforming lives in the most profound way.